What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of JY Throws. Today is supposed to be competition day, but it doesn't seem like the weather's going to hold off. I've been checking the weather app, and for the whole rest of the day into tonight, it's supposed to be rain and lightning storms. So I'm waiting on a call from Martin to see whether or not we will switch shot put until tomorrow morning. And if we do, it creates a couple problems for me that are manageable, just not ideal. The first one is that since I rested yesterday, I don't want to rest 2 days in a row if I don't compete today, because then I start to lose the tension in my muscles and I'm not firing the way that I like to be. So provided I get the phone call that everything's switched to tomorrow, I need to get to the weight room as quick as I can before it closes so that I can get a decent lift in to keep everything firing. The second problem is that it was already a busy full meet, so shot put switch, that means that it's going to be an even more chaotic, hectic day doing shot put and then discus after. And sometimes holding a peak for 2 events back to back is really difficult. It takes a lot of your body, and by the time you get to your last few discus reps or whatever your second event is, then your body's just so exhausted, your legs aren't firing, and you're not doing things the same way. So it's not ideal, but it's also not unmanageable. And I used to do 3 events in college, so I always had back-to-back competitions, and it just kicks my ass every time. But it is what it is. I'm just going to treat today as if we are competing until I get that phone call. So I'm going to try to relax my mind, not think about throwing as long as I can, so that I can postpone that adrenaline rush until I get to the track. So on days of competition, I like to try to postpone my adrenaline as long as possible. And one of the best ways for me to do that is by working on art. Whether it's painting a picture or making a video or drawing something, I can escape to a place that I forget about everything else going on in the world, and an hour feels like 5 minutes. So if you've got a problem getting too worked up before competition, maybe try to find that thing for you that hour feels like 5 minutes, that you can engage your mind in, that's not thinking about throwing, so that you can relax, hold that adrenaline off, so when you get to the competition, you're not worn out from being worked up all day. So today I went to Michael's, picked up a little pack of pencils, and wanted to try to learn portraits. It's something that I've never done before, and I've been scared to do because human faces are so hard to get right and make look decent at all. But as with anything else, practice makes perfect, and I knew that the best way to get good at drawing portraits is by drawing a bunch of them and going through that phase where they all look weird and shitty. This was day 1, attempt 1 at trying to draw a portrait, and I went with Marilyn Monroe. So I just got the message from Martin that the invite shot put is being moved to tomorrow. So I'm gonna head to the weight room, get a good lift in, and then I guess I'll be back tomorrow trying to do the same stuff, keep my mind relaxed, postpone the adrenaline as long as possible, get some good throws. Midday, I've been laying down on the track for like an hour, so I'm just gonna warm up, get a nice shakeout, get everything nice and loose, and then hopefully get some bottoms going.
Start!
Man, that meet was so close. Still missing a ton of positions, but it's nice to see that with some adrenaline, even with bad positions, I can still get some good throws. I want to go over the technique in both, but first I want to cover the conditions because it plays a pretty important role in what was going on. It was a much colder day than what would be ideal to throw because you want your muscles to be nice and loose from getting a nice sweat going and being warm and in the sun. And just having the clouds and a bunch of wind earlier in the day. And then I got to the track at 4 p.m. and I didn't end up leaving until 11 p.m. after discus. So 7 hours at the track, being in the cold, everything just got tight. And by the time I got to discus, having the adrenaline for that long, like I was talking about earlier, my legs just literally stopped working. I didn't finish a single throw and it was coming on my hand early, but it also taught me a lot of good lessons, and I wanted to cover a little bit of the technique and some things that I learned from this meet. So I want to go over the technique for both events, and I'll start with shot put. The first thing I notice is that out of the back, my hips start to drop back more than I would like. So now to get out of that hole that I've dropped my hips in, I need to swing my leg around, and that's sending me off balance to the middle, and you can see my shoulders leaning here, and that lean carries through to the middle. You can see the shot put is ahead of my toe, and I missed the vertical axis in the middle, and from there I continue around, and you can see on the finish that my right arm and head are pulling off of the finish and sending power back into the circle, which is taking power away from the implement. Where if you look at this video from Ryan Krauser this weekend, this was 2274, and I believe is the 6th best throw ever. But you can see how efficiently he transfers all of the power into the implement, comparing it to mine, where I'm pulling off of the finish and missing so much power in it. So for me to go 20 meters, I'm happy with that. But I also see so many inefficient technical things that just makes me hungry for more, and I can't wait to get out to practice and continue to try to work on this finish. I asked Joe Kovacs a couple questions after the meet on some things that he thinks about on his finish, and he's got an incredible finish for shot put. So I can't wait to implement those in practice. Next, I want to quickly cover discus, and there's not too much that I want to say because I was tired, and I don't see much point in analyzing a tired, sloppy throw. But I just wanted to point some things out so you guys can see what was going on. The only thing that I did better on this throw was actually get a little bit of leg drive and a little bit of timing on the finish. I made the mistake of going into the competition thinking that because I'm tired, I need to go faster, and if I go faster, then I'll get some bigger throws. But I started too fast, and then I missed positions. So I was pulling off of the finish and everything was coming out early, and then that paired up with my legs being exhausted and getting no leg extension and no direction on the finish. It was just ugly. The good thing is pretty much every throw, even though there were fouls, were around 60 meters. So it'll be there when I actually find those positions. Today was just not the day, but I also learned an important lesson that when I'm tired and my legs aren't driving and doing anything, I need to slow it down out of the back and really try to feel the extension and finish, because there's no point in trying to go fast, rushing, missing things, and fouling your throws anyway. But overall, very pleased with the season opener. A PR in shot put and 60 meters in discus is a solid start. I just know there's a lot more in there, and I'm going to keep working, keep trying to get it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, and if you really enjoyed it, subscribe for more. I will see you in the next one.